Good evening, one, and welcome to the Saco School Board meeting for, Wednesday, January 14th at 7:04. I do apologize for the small delay. Would like to make note of all members of the school board present this evening, including Superintendent Ray. And would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Great, thank you very much, everyone. Okay, next item, item 3 this evening is the school board minutes dated for December 10th, 2025. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor,
School Board Member Truman.
I move we approve the school board meeting minutes dated December 10th, 2025.
Thank you. Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by School Board Member Richards. Any discussion on those minutes? Okay, roll call vote. School Board Warnoff?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Roach?
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnson?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, there are no adjustments to the agenda this evening. There are no correspondence. Next up is public session. If there are any members of the public wishing to speak, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes to address the school board. Okay, not seeing any members seeking recognition. Moving on. All right, so we did have a change in the agenda. We are going to move item 9 up, and that is the staff reports. And I believe that we have a special group of students here to give us an update this evening.
Thanks for having us all here tonight. I'm going to let everyone here introduce themselves, but I want to give a big thank you to our Best Buddies program at CK Burns. It includes many more students that are here tonight, but I'm really thankful for our student representatives. And Mr. Goulet is going to give a brief overview of Best Buddies. We have a video which includes more of our participants, and then each of our members' student population is going to speak tonight. So thank you for having us.
Welcome.
Good evening. My name is John Goulet, and I had the honor of working with some truly amazing students at CK Burns. I am one of the staff advisors for Best Buddies, as well as Unified Sports. This fall, we set the bar high with a school-wide kickoff event. As an educator, I truly believe Best Buddies reinforces an important message for our students. You cannot judge a book by its cover. The program fosters inclusion, empathy, and meaningful connection among all students. At this time, we'd like to share a short video highlighting the voices of our students.
Hey now, take a step outside.
It's a new experience, and there's always something new to do and eat and have fun with. Honestly, the thing I always like is the friends, they always act like family. I like that I can do fun activities with other kids and make new friends. Cookies.
Ending isolation for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities through one-on-one friendships and leadership.
It's that we get to meet new friends and mostly the fun.
To the world, you may just be one person, but to one person, you may be the world.
I see you standing there with your hands held tight. Ho, hey. Carrying the weight of all you feel inside. Hey, ho. Give it up, raise it up, let it out tonight. With the crowd all around, we'll set it right. Raise your hands, let your hope ignite. Hey, ho. Clap along, feel the rising light. Let the crowd be the spark as the music grows. Shout it high till the whole world knows.
Best Buddies help start conversations and break down barriers. For students who may not always have the chance to connect with others, this program opens doors to friendship and inclusion for all. That was the vision behind Best Buddies International, founded in 1987 by Anthony Schreiber. For one chapter at Georgetown University to chapters across the world, together we have sparked a global movement of inclusion and lasting friendships. Because everyone deserves to have a best buddy.
I see you standing there with your hands held tight. Ho, hey. Carrying the weight of all you feel inside. Oh, give it up, raise it up, let it out tonight. With the crowd all around, we'll set it right. Give it up, raise it up, let it out tonight. With the crowd all around, we'll set it right. Raise your hands, let your hope ignite. Clap along, feel the rising light. Be the spark as the music grows. Shout it high till the whole world.
One day, someone will ask if you want to join Best Buddies. It's very important that you say yes.
Be the spark as the music grows. Shout it high till the whole world.
Thank you, school board leaders, for having us today. Hi, I'm Sophia Goodchild. I am a member of Best Buddies. I've been doing it since the 3rd grade. It started off with unified sports, then I knew I wanted this to be a big part of me. Best Buddies has taught me to be a good friend to everybody, and I hope that I have more opportunities to talk about Best Buddies in my life just like this. And I give a big thank you for being part of Best Buddies today.
Hi, my name's Harper Marcotte. I'm in 5th grade. I joined Unified when I was in 3rd, and I joined Best Buddies when I was in 4th. One thing I learned is to be a great friend, which may look like playing with someone who's alone at recess or making friends. I have an amazing buddy. His name is Colton. He is kind, funny, and loves to give hugs. Thank you.
Hi, I am Wyatt Carey from CK Burns. I started Best Buddies last year in 4th grade, even though I had friends but who wouldn't want more. So when I heard of Best Buddies, I thought, why not spend my free time after school with kids my age and younger? So the next time I get to ask someone to join Best Buddies, I'm going to take it.
My name is Murphy McDougall. I joined the Unified Sports and Best Buddies in 4th grade. I wanted to join because my good friend Lazar is in Best Buddies. My favorite part is soccer. I've learned not to judge a book by its cover because the cover is just the beginning.
Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to attend and address the school board this evening. Best Buddies typically usually meets the first and third Wednesday of each month, excluding early release days. We highly encourage you to reach out to us and come and join one of our meetings so you can see firsthand what it's like. You can either reach out to April, Tom, or myself. Thanks again, and have a great night.
The kids are also prepared if you have any questions for them.
First off, you guys are doing an amazing job, and I would like to give you a round of applause. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments for the students?
Madam Mayor?
School Board Member Johnston?
Thank you. I want to compliment these Best Buddies for really presenting very well to us. They did a very good job with a concise presentation, but also everybody spoke into the microphone, which is always awesome, so we can actually hear you. But I just wanted you to know, we really appreciate your presentation.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah, School Board Member Warnoff?
I'd like to comment. I know you guys probably know this already, but you guys make a big, big difference in a lot of people's lives, especially your Best Buddies, but thank you.
School Board Member Truman?
I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Best Buddies program, but I do know that one of my friends runs it at her school, and I've met her buddy that she's had, I don't know, for 10 or 15 years now, and I love him like he's one of my family members, and he's my best buddy too. So I think what you guys are doing is great, and helping other kids who might be alone have some friends and have something to do, and I think that's awesome.
Anyone else? Great. Thank you so much for making a difference in everyone
Thanks,
else's
everyone.
life. Thank you. Okay, moving on now. Next item is the superintendent's report. Superintendent Ray.
Well, that's a tough one to follow up on. So just want to talk about a couple of different things. Is we had congratulations to our Saco Middle School students who completed in the spelling bee. This year's champion was Torrin King Riggs, who correctly spelled Frankenstein in round 10 to secure the win. Sixth grader Marco, I'm gonna put Marianovich, thank you, earned the runner-up position, and eighth grader Lila Goodrich placed third. CK Burns fifth graders will compete in their spelling bee on January 23rd, with each school champion advancing on to the York County Spelling Bee on February 9th at SMS. As you know, we had Ryan Martin, our physical education teacher, break one Guinness World Book of Records earlier this year at the middle school, but I want to congratulate him again as Ryan Martin added a fourth Guinness World Book of Records last month, breaking his own record, breaking the record of the most NBA half-court shots made in 1 hour. Shooting from the official NBA half-court distance of 47 feet, Mr. Martin made 272 shots out of 828, a 33% clip from half-court, averaging one shot every 4 seconds and one made basket every 12 seconds over a course of an hour. Yeah, go try that one at home. Pretty impressive, and we want to support our staff who have unique outside of school talents when we have them. I also am aware that we have I guess, professional UFC fighter at the middle school as a staff member who will be having a professional bout in February. And I'll bring you some information on that. It's just, you know, we have staff that do unique things outside of school and need to celebrate those. Wanted to just wind back the clock just a little bit to before the holidays. And just on behalf of our students, staff, and others, thank the many local businesses and individuals who provided gifts to our families in need during the holiday season, especially the Biddeford Saco Rotary Club that supported 200 children through the Adopt a Family program. Want to thank you to Sweets and Company for adopting Fairfield School and modeling true community partnership. In addition to multiple generous donations this school year totaling $6,000, Sweets and Company has invited every customer to round up their purchases to support Fairfield's backpack and snack campaign. So if you're out there looking for a sweet treat, you can also support the school. I want to thank you to Sherman's Main Coast Bookshop in Saco, who donated gift certificates for our spelling bee winner and runners-up. Thank you to the Ross Senior Center for their donation of handmade knit hats to young school students. Saco's unified sports teams are gearing up for another exciting season following February break, and our Saco athletes are inviting the community to show their support through this year's online apparel store at Pennell Printing. Proceeds from each purchase will support unified sports in our communities, and orders will be taken through the 31st and delivered to Beach Street location. This time of year for us in our office, we have had our first draft of the budget. I've reviewed them. We've got everybody in, right? Yeah, all principals and directors have been in. Our goal is to have any alterations made by the 23rd is our goal. And then early in February, it'll be coming your way. So we're moving right along on that piece.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments for the superintendent? Okay, moving on to item 9, where are 8? That is the chair's report. Chair Preble? Oh, I'm sorry, did I?
I know.
Was that the
You
meeting
want
last
Chair
week, I guess?
Truman.
Thank you. All right.
I don't have anything to report tonight.
All set. All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to item number 10, that is the board subcommittee minutes. Item A is the Policy and Personnel Committee. Minutes are attached to your packet, and the next meeting was this afternoon at 5:30. The Finance and Infrastructure Committee, the next meeting is January 28th at 4:30. And the Curriculum Committee, the next meeting is January 12th at 4:30. Huh? Oh, I've got January 12th. Sorry. All right, thank you. Item number 11, there is no old business. Item number 12, under new business. Item A is the current committee members and meetings. There is a spreadsheet attached in your packet. Item B is new hires. Is there a motion with the memo in your packet? School Board Member Truman?
Madam Mayor, I move to approve those listed in the stipend section and issue a stipend contract for the 2025-26 school year.
Motion has been made by School Board Member Truman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by School Board Member Richards. Any discussion on the new hires? Okay, roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff?
Yes?
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Roach?
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, item 3 under resignations. There is a memo, but there is no motion needed for those. Item D is a building update, and it looks like we have 3 items: groundbreaking, progress report, and other. Superintendent Ray.
Madam Mayor, do you mind if I just go back to superintendent's report as I skipped an item that I would like to highlight?
Sure.
We put a memo in your packet around our bus safety campaign. Certainly a lot of people asking questions as we've had 2 horrible tragedies in the state of Maine on buses, and we felt the need to take some local action, but we didn't necessarily communicate. We were getting a lot of questions of what we were doing, but we hadn't communicated that yet. We'll be meeting with all bus drivers next week just to help them understand that we're there to support them, take it slow, think about, all of the things that they have on their plate while they're trying to navigate kids to and from school. And, if being a few minutes late is really okay. We also know that traffic concerns and needing to educate our public about the school bus safety. We'll be bringing students into assemblies after vacation to help them a refresher on the safe practices around school buses. And then we'll also be working, we've been working with our police chiefs and others to film a local PSA, public service announcement around school bus safety, to get that out there as, as parents, what do we need to focus on? As students, what do we need to focus on? And then other community members, we know that mornings can be tough, and we know that sometimes little ones can be slow getting on buses, just like middle school and high school kids can be slow getting on buses. That it's important not to be impatient behind the wheel, because there's been obviously too many accidents in the state of Maine this year, and we want to make sure that we are communicating out. So I'm sorry I forgot that piece during superintendent's report, but felt like that was important to get out there of some of the work that we're doing.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving on to item D, that is the building update.
So I want to thank all of those first who could attend the groundbreaking, as that was a big day for us a little over a month ago. But for any of those who have driven by the site, things change every single day way faster. Now, I think that the construction company, based off the feedback I had today, wished the weather had stayed a little bit colder, a little bit longer, because I think we're experiencing a high level of mud out there right now. But in your report, there is a progress report that we plan to put together for you guys every 2 weeks. That is a snapshot of the daily reports that we receive. Certainly, I'm not going to read these every 2 weeks because they're there for the public and for you guys to read. But from a groundwork standpoint, you can probably walk to the river at this point, or the brook at this point. There's a lot of clearing. It's pretty level. The second road off Millbrook, based off a picture Meg sent me this afternoon, seems to be in. And we'll start taking deliveries that way, and it looks like we're in a good place. At least what we're hearing today is that, they're talking about foundation in March. We're not seeing any evidence that that's slowing down. We have been talking with the abutters about the intersection and the access that we're going to need, because that process will be starting. We've had a couple of phone calls with people this week, just to make sure that we have the right paperwork and that people fully understand what's going on and the progress and the timeline. And we're going to keep you updated this way every 2 weeks. You can expect a memo like this with some visual pictures on the agenda. Happy to take any questions if I can answer those.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments? School Board Member Roach?
This might be for the city too, but has there been any news of Maine DOT for Route 1? Any changes? I was asked by a couple of business owners if Route 1, just we have interest, of course, in the turnoff lane but just in terms of any road work slowing the traffic down on Route 1, anything from their side?
Nothing's come our way on that piece.
Okay.
We were supposed to, similar to the pilot program that we did in front of TA with the speed bumps, we were going to do a road diet with GP Cog and PAX. Unfortunately, they did not get the funding for that for us, so that was on hold right now. And again, that was going to be a pilot program to see if certain aspects worked on that stretch. But outside of that, we have not heard anything. We do have a traffic safety committee meeting, and I can follow up and see what we might have in the works coming down the road. No pun intended.
Also, the abutters, you're talking the abutters that are at the intersection at Route
Correct.
1. So have they complained to you about, I think they should look forward to the school doing something because, or the school project push something, because that if anyone's experienced to go out to check it out, that dip really takes out cars, certainly smaller cars,
Yeah.
but even big trucks are gonna have problems.
Haven't heard anything yet. The abutters that I talked to were pretty much like, yeah, we kind of see something going on over there. And so the deliveries will, once the foundation is, then you're going to start seeing a lot of deliveries in action on that site. I mean, the expectation is that there could be up to 200 different employees or people, subcontractors, working on the site any given day. That was the number we got, Meg, was 200, right? And I think it was at,
Well, Beth's the foreman. How many people are there, Beth?
Absolutely that number.
But I mean, even right now with the groundwork, would you say, Dawn, probably 25, 30 people out there right now working? So, the work's going on. I haven't heard that piece. I mean, the ones that I've talked to, we were talking about I've had the conversations about sidewalks and people excited to be like, you mean I'd have a sidewalk here? Yes.
Nice.
And so, at least right now, that was a very positive, certainly conversations with, I guess, Jack, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, whatever that's there, talking to them about the sign. We spoke with them about the signs today and what we need to do with that piece. And, their concerns obviously are related to, like, this isn't going to be down for 6 months, is it? And so we're working through all of those pieces to make sure that businesses in that area have some feedback and, thoughts in the process and how we can avoid interruptions to the best of our ability and work those into the contracts now versus trying to get that in later.
With the road forming, still discourage people from, like, going out, walking out there,
Yeah, that's going to be an active construction zone.
Yeah.
I think one thing that the view has definitely from Millbrook.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
it's
now you can see it.
Yeah.
Probably the best view is for someone who is driving down Millbrook and turning around and riding back through, and you can just look and see
All right.
where this is going to be, and that obviously will be something I suspect we'll be dealing with over the next several months around the fact of people will be curious. They will want to go down. They will want to see what's going on and watch the project, as it develops, fairly quickly. I mean, I don't know if we have a given timeline, but based off the other projects I've seen, is once the foundation is down and ready, the steel starts to go up fairly quickly.
So no trespassing. That means you jazzercise crowd, okay?
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, School Board Member Warnoff?
we're still slated for opening 2028, though, fall of 2028.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to item F, that is the fiscal year 27 9-12 projects and fiscal year 26 tuition costs.
Okay, so looking at tuition costs, first, thank Anne Marie for pointing out an error that I made in the reversal on the spreadsheet. And to get that correct, it still seems a little bit foolish that we have to wait until the middle to end of December to figure out exactly what tuition is going to be and guess. And I think we were at like 6.79% increase or something. the formula ran out quite a ways for us, but from a budgetary standpoint, for this year's budget, we're in pretty good shape because we are projected 820 students. As I move things forward to next year, because we are working on the budget, the one piece that we do get to kind of solidify in the budget is what those tuition costs will be fairly early. And based off the numbers, I've put estimated 917 students. That gives us that, we had kind of looked for that 25 student buffer and tried to be in that same range. Looking at percentage increase, again, I have 6%. IVF right now budgeted at a 10% increase. So you can see our per pupil cost. I've put 7% on special education for right now. And then obviously staff member for multilingual learners, which increases our cost next year. Basically, you're going to look at about a $1.5 million increase in the budget for 9 through 12 tuition costs based off what we have today.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding that? Okay.
So for the budget, just comparing what we budgeted last year, there isn't an actual column in here, but from the budget, you're looking at a 1.5 million, that's a 9% increase?
Yep.
And then the per pupil cost, if pupils were the same, just from a per pupil level, you're going up 16%?
Correct.
Correct? Okay.
Or whatever that math figured out. I don't have that right in front of me, but I'm going to trust that you figured that out.
That's well as, yeah, just wanted to address that. But you're still going to budget, the students were 920 budgeted, and the fixed number for the October number was 891.
Correct.
Okay, so we're always going to cushion us.
What we've done is 25, historically, within a range. I think my projection last year, because again, we didn't have definite knowledge when we were budgeting last year exactly what was going to happen with the hotel situation, so that has some impact on that number, being 29 below. I think at one point this year we might have been at like 893 at the beginning or 895. That settles out, and again, looking at where we're at, we have the numbers of kiddos at TAMS. We'll look at any of that are local residents. We then need to look and make sure, like St. James, any of the other private schools that tend to come over, there's always a handful. There's also a handful of kids typically who have been historically homeschooled that may now decide to go to high school, so that kind of can be a surprising number. And then also looking at any development that may happen in the city. Again, I don't necessarily tend to worry about apartments, don't tend to be a driver. It's any new subdivisions that tend to bring kids.
And then this is an estimate.
Correct.
When do you anticipate the first budget draft presented here?
Probably right after February vacation.
Okay, so later in February. So from now until later in February, with Thornton Academy, we can still talk back and forth about some of these estimates.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because again, like in the past, kind of just about probably mid-March, you're ready with special education numbers. You go for it. Correct. I mean, again, the driver for both of us on all of this is going to be health insurance. You know, and, you know, last year on on the school side, we were 12%. I don't remember what you said your percentage was, but, you know, and then following the national narrative of what people are talking about health insurance increases, that, you know, Anne Marie can hand me a number on March 1st, which would be nice. Wish we could have that. But then I know she doesn't get her health insurance numbers till the end of the month. And on the special education time, it's mostly staff and benefits. That if that's, you know, if we have a year, knock on wood that we won't, that, you know, the state band is between, say, 10 and 18%, we're having a very different conversation. So initially, this time, I just put a 7% increase on the special education number to start with overall, and said, well, maybe that will work as a safe place, instead of putting in the same number and then going back and forth. I figured that gave us enough of a buffer that we could, you know, handle that. Zach, I know at one point we had talked about a 10% health insurance, and then I talked with Cindy again and said, maybe we should do a 12%. And I think that's what we're going to plan to bring, is a 12% increase on the first draft of the budget for health insurance rates. Now, when we talk about those things, one of the other pieces that could be a swing out of our budget is that when we've talked about the CDS funding, and we're in cohort 2, and the state funding special education for 4-year-olds a little bit differently. There's a pocket of money that's lived in the regular general education budget, the one that you see that now will shift into a separate fund, because they're not sending that with EPS dollars. They're sending that with a different pocket of money, which means that I need to build a budget for that pocket of money, which may strip some costs from the pre-K through 12 budget that we vote on. That's a little up in the air right now, but that looked like a healthy sum we would be swinging in one direction. So too early to tell exactly what the picture is. You know, Dawn and Andrew have done a lot of work on really looking through some of our facilities lines of getting the right amounts in the right places. And so I think we feel pretty good about that. We feel pretty good about capital projects and what we want to do next year. And, you know, from a staffing standpoint, at least today on the status quo piece, we're feeling, you know, like we have that kind of wrapped around, and then we'll just kind of, that all pulls together, look at that final number after the adjustments that we talked about this week at our level, then start putting that plan together to see what it looks like. And then state funding obviously dictates a lot of it too.
Great, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, moving on to item F, and that is the STEM plus M presentation.
Thank you. Principal Susie and I are here to share with you some information about a program that we've been exploring for probably about 6 or 8 months now. And we're excited to share a little bit more about the program with you tonight and kind of determine how willing the board is to support this work moving forward. So the title of the program is STEM plus M, which stands for the traditional science, technology, engineering, and math, with an additional M for manufacturing. This program came about out of DC and the DC area in response to kind of a national crisis around a shortage of skilled manufacturing professionals. And as those jobs became unfilled, part of the concern was around starting students even earlier in manufacturing careers so that they kind of understood through middle school pathways what options might be available in vocational careers in high school, rather than having to wait until high school to understand what manufacturing jobs were available to them, and thus kind of already getting into a vocational track without kind of understanding all of the different pathways. And the folks who have supported this grant really felt like middle school was a critical window in which futures aren't locked in for students, and there's a natural curiosity about kind of hands-on careers, and that would be an opportune time to kind of introduce this so that students have time before high school course selection. So it is a complete education system. It's backed by Diversified Educational Systems, which is an organization that writes and develops a lot of the curriculums for vocational programming and pre-service job training in the manufacturing area. And what it allows is that they kind of seek out districts that are located near kind of manufacturing hubs. So our proximity to both Portsmouth and Bath made us an ideal location, as well as being able to offer a collaboration potentially with Biddeford and Saco together, having the same central office, that if we were to pursue it, we would have some good cross-training opportunities, as well as the experts that are already at the Biddeford Vocational Center to kind of understand what that curriculum looks like and help us prepare students for things that they have on offer there. There are kind of three different pieces that it entails. One is a very clear curriculum that has a learning pathway that exposes students, which Marie will share in the next slide, to a bunch of different areas. It also includes lab equipment, professional grade tools, and the technology stations that come along with that. And they wanted to design this so that they could take it anywhere, meaning they wanted to fit everything into a shipping container and then be able to fully outfit a class. So it really is like including the shelving units and the computer systems and the tables and chairs that you'll get to see some pictures of later. And then they also have ongoing implementation support, including training for the staff that would be delivering the curriculum and continuously updated resources. It is a grant-funded project that would last a full 5 years, and over the course of that year, they not only provide the initial startup, but they provide reordering for the consumables that are used within those 5 years. So it's approximately $500,000 worth of resources that you're receiving through acceptance of the grant.
So within the curriculum, there are 6 career pathways that instill real-world manufacturing skills and mirror industry practices. So students will learn skills needed in various careers, some of which are listed here in the corresponding pathway. So within each pathway, there's a hands-on project that guides students through the manufacturing cycle. So some examples of the projects would be building robots, designing, fabricating, and racing CO2 cars, or building and testing model bridges. So the process that we've been through thus far, so in the spring we met with the STEM plus M team to get an idea of what this process entailed and what we were looking at. Some of this work included both facilities directors Don Roth and Andrew Saxa, as well as our technology director Chris Stryker, to ensure that we had the bandwidth to support all various aspects of this project. Throughout the summer, we reviewed our space and curricular resources. In the fall, we had the opportunity to visit a program at Bath Middle School that is currently running, and we're able to bring some teachers there. So we saw students in action and were able to chat with the educators there, as well as the STEM plus M team. And then look forward to starting construction, hopefully, and solidifying the schedule in the spring of this year. So as Meg mentioned, this is a comprehensive turnkey program that includes all the materials and equipment that are needed. So we're talking like all the lab furniture, shelving, all lab storage and organizational systems, classroom materials and tools, 3D printers, computers, monitors, all of it is all included, as well as all the consumable materials that are organized by unit, ready for the teacher to use, and replenished each year for the duration of the 5-year grant. And you can just see here, is just when we were in Bath, and the students using this tool as we were just walking around, watching them.
And this is just another picture of what the workstations look like. They set up a classroom that would have a capacity of 24 students for each of those classrooms. And then we had a kiddo in that same class at the same time on a different station soldering some parts for what he was building there. We were also able to talk to the teaching staff at Bath Middle School, as well as their, I think, assistant principal, or like their principal of teaching and learning at that school, to kind of learn more. The intent is to get as many students as possible through the full curriculum, but we are kind of looking at it as beginning with more of a choice or elective-based UA option to try to see how we can fit it into our schedule a little bit, and we'll, Marie will explain a little bit more about that. So in terms of space, currently the STEM room at Saco Middle School is an L shape. The right-hand side, as you're looking at this photo of that L shape, is the blown-up version, and then currently we have a garage door on the end that faces the exterior of the building, and it's used for quite a lot of like sports equipment and that sort of thing. We have some other areas now in terms of outdoor storage where those things can go, as well as some tools that have been in that space for quite some time. So we're in the process of evaluating and understanding what tools we need to stay in that STEM space. It will change that STEM space from being over 3,000 square feet now to just over 2,000 square feet for kind of the industrial arts STEM program that we still are going to maintain running. And then we would have a smaller 900 square foot classroom that would have those stations that you saw in the other photos and in some of those videos, and you can kind of see how that layout and orientation potentially could look within that space. Again, we don't have architectural drawings or anything of that nature yet, because we want to make sure that this is something we want to move forward with.
So as this is a very exciting opportunity for our students, our recommendation is the adoption of the STEM plus M for the 2026-27 school year. And aligned with that would be next steps of a site visit with the STEM plus M implementation team to the school, again, to look at the space and to get those drawings made up for the design of the room, reviewing detailed program schedule. We are currently in the process of working through our unified art schedule to provide more choice to students, so this would be another option for them in terms of choice. So we're working on that unified art schedules and proposals, developing an implementation timeline so we could begin this in the fall, and then educators would be trained by the STEM plus M team this summer. And that is it. Do we have any questions?
I have a question, a couple of questions. One, you're definitely keeping industrial arts. You're not going to?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, you said you get $500,000 that you're receiving through this grant for 5 years. What happens when it's awesome and we want to keep it for the next 5 years?
So a couple of things. We don't get the $500,000, so I want to be clear on that, because sometimes some grants, we get the money and then we get to dole it out and spend it. And in this grant, they're providing everything, and it's a value of $500,000 in sum total. But the answer to your question of what happens after 5 years, we keep everything that they purchased for us. We will have to have like recurring consumable costs for the things that you're reordering. And of course, like 3D printers, those soldering irons, they don't last forever. So we would have to develop some kind of ongoing repair and maintenance schedule. I don't anticipate that it would be $100,000 a year, but I think you're looking at probably a quarter to a half of that to maintain it over time.
Okay, thank you.
And I want to add one more thing, is that we would not right now be looking to hire an additional teacher, but we have a coding program that's like a traveling UA, and the intent would be to replace that course offering as an additional course offering for STEM plus M in lieu of coding, or depending on how the choice metrics work out or the UAs work out, it could be in addition to coding, depending on what we're able to work through schedule-wise.
The other exciting thing is that our educators, if adopted here, wouldn't be going this alone. It's on tap to have 4 locations in the state of Maine, with Saco Middle School and Biddeford Middle School each having one of those 4 locations that feeds into the Center of Technology. The other is in Bath, and the other one they're bringing is Lewiston. Bath and Lewiston is what Paulette told me. And then Saco, Biddeford, each having that. So, you know, while it's close, there will be kinks in learning, new learning going on. We have fantastic educator who's, you know, willing to take this on, but there will be new learning, and having a partner next door, so you're not driving to Bath to check something out or driving to Lewiston would be exciting to think about how we provide these options for our middle school students in a different way.
Thank you. Anyone else? School Board Member Truman?
I know we had talked about this very briefly. I didn't know what had already happened in the background, but what I had relayed before is that I have very fond memories of middle school, we call it shop class back then, but making the cars and soldering things and all that stuff. So I think this is a great move. Anytime we can expand our curriculum to help students potentially find something that they wouldn't otherwise be introduced to, and find a passion for, I think is great to have, and I'm fully supportive of this. So,
School Board Member Roach?
Yeah, all over this. I actually had a meeting canceled today because of the phone problems around the country. It was more for high school, but the link-ups with businesses on a program similar to this, and to follow up on Board Member Warnoff's point about the 5 years after. Well, these 5 years, we're getting this because we're positioned around the industrial parks. What is the plan to communicate with area businesses that students can actually go see what they make, but also they could also help contribute and get them locked in, you know, for 5 years from now. I relate a story why it's so important for the kids to get there, but also staff and administration. This is like 10 years ago, the Chamber of Commerce sponsored a trolley rides around both industrial parks, Biddeford and Saco, and I came to the school board meeting or some sort of meeting afterwards, and staff couldn't believe like how much manufacturing was around here. And if staff was surprised, you know, you could bet that a lot of parents and students don't know what's happening around here. So I think to involve this program, getting a grant, doing the schools, that's great, but I would absolutely start on day one to partner up with the area businesses. And I'll certainly be there. I'll abstain from any vote if it somehow benefits any businesses I'm working on, but I'm here to absolutely, connect those businesses when you guys are ready, so. But thank you for this.
Kevin, one of the other pieces, just to kind of piggyback on that, is that we know that we've also talked about the need to replace the one portable left in the district after, and Dawn is working hard on a plan for that piece so that we can look at how that goes into the budget, but also having the ability as a middle school with STEM plus M, with the fantastic programming that Sam Blunda already has, with Jessie Howard in her foods program, to be a little bit more intentional from a middle school level about leading kids into the exploration of what could be available for them. And whether the next piece is thinking about, we've asked our principals to think a little bit about like some of these pieces, like is there health fitness that goes into, we had Jesse's son here talking about his experience with EMT or athletic training. But I sometimes wonder that, we talk about giving the gift of, pathways towards many different professions. I also think it's as much of a gift to also have kids experience that and say, I don't want that. The number of kiddos over time who, the number of people over the course who said, I want to be an engineer, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, and then they realize that there's a lot of days where you're sitting in front of a computer all day long that wasn't exactly what they were thinking. That's the best gift that we can give kids, is some ability to try and, really give them a pathway in, but also give them an easy way to say, no, that's not for me, this is more for me, or this is more for me. And I think that this, plus our other options, and this kind of taking care of the final space, brings us a really unique opportunity here to do something that a lot of other middle schools across the state have tried to do but haven't been able to do, and I think we can accomplish that here.
I think you hit it on the head there, though, about showing kids, one, what they potentially could love to do, but also what they may not. Back to my shop thing. I enjoyed that experience, but there's no way I was going to be doing that all the time. It was fun for that quarter, but I'm done. Thank you. So.
Anyone else?
I just had a quick. I think it sounds like a great program. I was more curious than anything. How long has the Bath program been in existence? Do you know?
This is their first year.
Oh, first year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they have some schools down in like the Virginia, Maryland area, and maybe also in Hawaii that have been going for a little bit longer, but this is the first time they've expanded beyond that.
I'd just be curious too if there's any statistics out there that show, I guess, after middle school, if kids continue on, and how that looks.
Good question.
School Board Member Kidder?
Just in case we don't come to an actual vote on this or anything, I just wanted to give my support as well. I have family members who are both people who took a very long time to find their way to this path, and people who knew from a very young age that they wanted to do it, and to your point, Superintendent Ray, have discovered they hate it. So I think the sooner we give the kids these options, the better. There's I can't even imagine how much differently those two particular family members' lives would have turned out had they known much younger what they did or did not want to do as adults.
Okay, great. Thank you both very much.
While we're not asking for a full vote, because there will be some pieces that will be budget related and stuff, I'm looking here very strongly and seeing an endorsement to move forward on this by the school committee with the nodding of heads. Just always want to be clear about those pieces, so thank you.
Okay, moving on to item G. That is the first reading of policies. Is there a motion? School Board Member Johnston?
Thank you. I move we approve the first reading of policies BDA, Board Organizational Meeting, BDB, School Board Officers, BDD, Board Superintendent Relationship, BDE, Board Standing Committees, BDE-R, Board Standing Committee Procedures, BE, School Board Meetings, BEA, School Board Use of Email and Other Electronic Communications, BED, Remote Participation in School Board Meetings, BEDB, Agenda Preparation and Dissemination, BEDB-R, Agenda Format, BCC, Nepotism, BDG, School Attorney, Legal Services, BEC, Executive Sessions, BEC-R, Executive Session Procedure, and BEDA, Notification of Board Meetings.
Thank you. A motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by School Board Member Truman. Any comment or questions regarding those policies? Okay, not seeing any. Roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Roach?
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Item H is the second reading of policies. Is there a motion? School Board Member Johnston?
There is. Let me just preface, well, I just want to say that you can see that the policy committee has been very busy recently because there's a lot of policies here that we were both doing first readings and then the second reading on. I move we approve the second reading of policies BBD, School Board Declared Vacancy Caused by Absenteeism, BBBE, Unexpired Term Fulfillment/Vacancies, BCA, School Board Member Code of Ethics, BCB, Board Member Conflict of Interest, BEDH, Public Participation at School Board Meetings, at Saco School Board Meetings, BBA, School Board Powers and Responsibilities, BBAA, Board Member Authority and Responsibilities, BBBA, Board Member Qualifications, BCAB, Governance Standard, JLI-E, Report of Dangerous Behavior by Student, BDF, Board Advisory Committees.
Thank you. A motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
School Board Member Truman? Okay, any questions or comments regarding any of these policies? Okay, roll call vote. Oh, I'm sorry, School Board Member Roach?
Yep, sorry. So first is a question on the school board, on BCA, the School Board Member Code of Ethics. It goes through letters A through R. Does A mean the most important, or is it just a straight up list and they're all equally important? They're all important, but I'm just saying, is it in a certain order?
Although I did look for that policy earlier today.
It's okay.
I don't know if anyone else, maybe Carolyn or Sarah.
I have it up right now. They're all equally important.
That was going to be my response, was I think they're all equally important, but I'm glad that you have it up for us. Thank you.
I think that was just a different numbering system or categorizing.
Just an itemized list and not a prioritized list.
100%.
Correct.
Yeah, so from there, even though the children are in B, in the letter B, you know, we start with the children. I mean, I think that's what we're here for. We're here for the kids. We're here for the whole community, but you know, I don't want anyone to doubt that we're not here specifically for the kids. And sometimes we get doubted on that, but it's right there spelled out. My other request or maybe clarification is on BEDH, public participation at school boards. On the top, it says citizens to speak, but citizens aren't referenced as residents until the bottom of the first page. I want to make it clear that people that speak, this is my preference, people that speak at this microphone are residents of the city of Saco, period. Unless there's some sort of agenda item that involves a company or a neighboring community, it needs to be Saco residents.
We had this discussion during committee, and I think we left it open to citizens. I think it was meant to be for citizens of Saco specifically, but didn't want to specify in case it was a business coming, speaking on behalf of like a project, you know what I mean? So
Right, yes.
we kind of left it at that. So that's why there's a little bit of both in there, but it's meant to be, that's why in like A, it says citizens, and then in parentheses, residents.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay with
Yeah.
if you have agenda items and you have, nexus to the agenda item, but I just don't want some random person from Bangor coming in here and.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. If you guys are good with that, I just want a public understanding that that's what that policy means. It's residents here.
Correct. We had to leave it open to some interpretation as far as like, we might have staff member, they aren't residents, but they are a staff member here.
Yeah.
And then also in case there's a business that's coming to speak, school-related, that they're also.
Certainly a staff member has nexus to what's going on
Correct.
here in agenda. Yep, okay.
I don't know if Beth, if you have another understanding of that, then.
No, I think my understanding is similar or the same as that, but I do understand your concern, Kevin. And I also wanted to say that I appreciate your thorough examination of these policies. So, I mean, if any time a board member feels that we need to review something again, I think it should definitely be stated that way. But you're feeling okay at this point with those?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just want that, just to say it in public clarification, and also say that no matter how much hard work we're all doing to get these policies right, we're not going to cover every single situation. So I got you game of this policy to that policy. It's like it's not going to be perfect. So, but that's a great job here, though. So
We do aim for perfection.
that's right.
Being humans and all, it's a little hard.
If I were modest, I'd be perfect. All right. So. All right.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Anyone else, any questions or comments on the policies? Okay, roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff?
Yes?
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Roach?
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, now moving on to item I, and that is a list of policies to strike. Is there a motion, School Board Member Johnston?
Thank you. I move we strike policies BBAB and BBAB-R.
Thank you. Motion has been made by School Board Member Johnston. Is there a second?
Second.
School Board Member Truman. Any discussion or comment on these two?
I would just like to say that what we decided when we reviewed these is that they really aren't relevant to the way the structure of our government or administration at this point in time. So that's why these policies were suggested to be stricken. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff?
Yes?
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Roach?
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, moving on to item 13. There is no other information this evening unless any members wish to share. School Board Member Roach?
Almost, but with everything going on in the world, as you know, I kind of joke around up here a little bit, kind of reference music and to relate it to the schools. There was someone I really looked up to that suffered with dyslexia, dropped out of school, but made a big difference in music life, my life, got me through a lot of school anxiety myself, and he passed away this past week. Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead. He also, big sports guy, so if you see music, bumper music on the NFL games, that's a reference a lot to his music. And to honor him, just say that we're all sane of circumstances, and you know, this must be heaven for him now. And thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, moving on to item 14, that is executive session. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor,
School Board Member Truman?
I move we enter into executive session for labor contract discussions pursuant to 1 MRSA subsection 4056D.
Motion.
Second.
Motion has been made by School Board Member Truman, second by School Board Member Preble. Roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Roach?
Be kind, yes.
Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion to enter executive session at 8:15 passes 7-0, and we will be downstairs in the conference room?
Yeah, I think we can adjourn right from there. We won't need to come back, have any action.
Okay, we still need to come back and do
Yep.
the official adjournment, though. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Is there a motion to exit executive session?
So moved.
Second?
That was Jeff.
All right, motion made by School Board Member
Richards.
Second by School Board Member Roach. Roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff.
Yes.
School Board Member Preble.
Yes.
School Board Member Richards.
Yes.
School Board Member Roach.
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder.
Yes.
School Board Member Truman.
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston.
Yes.
Motion to exit executive session passes 7-0 at 8:34. Is there a report?
No report.
Thank you. And final item of the evening, item 15 is adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by School Board Member Truman, second.
Second.
Second by School Board Member Preble. Roll call vote. School Board Member Warnoff.
Yes.
School Board Member Preble.
Yes.
School Board Member Richards.
Yes.
School Board Member Roach.
Yes.
School Board Member Kidder.
Yes.
School Board Member Truman.
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn passes 7-0 at 8:34. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.